to the Bookworms Buddy. Today I am doing a review for you. I was not going to do a review on this. I was going to do a series review, but I found that I just can't wait. And I'm going to review for you Left to Die by Lisa Jackson. This is book 1 in the To Die series. And wow. That's all I can say. Wow. This book is fantastic, but then again, it shouldn't surprise me because it is Lisa Jackson, and she is one of my favorite authors. I have enjoyed her stuff for many years. I just think she's underrated, and I think her books are underrated. So anyway, first thing I need to say about this book is the prologue was amazing. Lisa Jackson has a gift for imagery. When I was reading the prologue, I could just find myself in this woman's shoes. I could see myself there, feeling that terror and that horror and the pain and the thoughts that were going through her head. You know, I'm going to die. And I'm going to die like this. I read that prologue and I had to close the book for a few minutes and just kind of absorb what I read and pull myself out of the story for a moment and really just think about, you know, what this girl was going through. So I had to go post in my group about it, I had to tell my family about it, and I'm going to link to a sneak peek to the prologue in the description that you should go read, and you'll understand what I am saying, so make sure you check that out. Also, I discovered, just a quick thing here, I discovered that book number 6 comes out today, Deserves to Die, is out today, and I'm going to have to rush out and find that book so I can have it. I have the first 5. And this is number 6 coming out. We've got Left to Die, Chosen to Die, Born to Die, Afraid to Die, Ready to Die, and Deserves to Die. So yeah, you guys really need to read this series or get started on the series. I am doing this in our bookathon for my group. And I don't know who all is reading it, if anybody is still reading this one, because we had to put it off and put it off. I decided to get it done this month. So anyway, let's get to what this is about. In this book, we have a serial killer. I don't know about y'all, I love serial killer stories. I really like them. So we have a serial killer. He abducts these women, and the way he does it is he shoots out the front tower of the car. And then it causes them to have an accident, but not so bad that it kills them. But they could get pretty seriously hurt. And then he comes in as their rescuer, their savior, and he pulls them from the car and he takes them to wherever it is he takes them to. And he woos them and nurses them back to health, and they just fall in love with him because, oh, he saved my life. There is no sexual contact between them until the very last day he somehow gets them out of their clothes. He takes them outside, prods them with a knife to get them to walk to where he wants them to, and ties them to a tree. And then they're left there to die. And I could not even imagine being tied to the tree in Montana, in the woods of the mountains, or wherever he decides, in December. I think it starts November, actually, I don't know. And it's blistering cold, and you're forced to walk through the snow to your destination, your final destination. You're tied to a tree, freezing, and you're left to die. Imagine that. I couldn't imagine being that person. So then we have Selena Alvarez and Reagan Pascali, who are the 2 main detectives in this story, who have to figure this out and find out who this serial killer is, who this psychomaniac is that's running around abducting women and tying them to trees. They have named him the Star-Crossed Killer because he engraves the star in the tree where each woman is tied to, and it's a different tree for every woman, which explained to me finally the cover. If you can see that there's a tree and a woman's face up here in the trees, and all the books have a tree and a woman on it, and I'm like, that's got to be some kind of significance to the story. Well, now I know. And so they had to figure out, you know, what these codes mean, because the star on each tree is in a different location. And also on a piece of paper he puts their initials somewhere on this piece of paper and tacks it to the tree. And so he's forming some kind of code that they have to figure out. And that is the main story. That's what the story is. But there is another mystery that runs alongside this one, which I love that. I love more than one mystery in a book. That one, well, I can't say that. But there is another mystery that runs alongside this story. Okay, now, something I want to tell you about this is, if you want a book where, like, I know you've heard me talk about this before, we have a series of books where the cases are solved, but the detectives' lives carry over to the next book. That's generally how they run, so then you can just pick up, you know, if you don't care about the detectives' lives and you just want good mystery, then you just pick up a book, whatever one you want, and read it. And that's how they generally work. They can work as standalones. I don't do it that way. I generally read from the first book over anyway, just because I do care about the detectives and what have you. Now, if that's how you like it, then in this one, everything runs over. The case runs over to the next book. The detectives' lives run over to the next book. So, I'm not thinking this is a spoiler, but you don't know who it is in this book because it goes over to the next book. If you don't think you would like a series like that, then you might not want to read this unless you just go ahead and pick up the next book right away, because nothing is, some parts are solved, not everything is solved in this first installment. So just a heads up, if you don't think you'd like that, then you might not want to pick this up. But I don't care. I love when the cases carry over because, you know, it's that much more mystery. That's a little bit different in the series. You don't usually find mystery series where the cases carry over, but this one does, and I'm loving that. So, the characters. I love our characters in this book because they are flawed. They are not perfect. None of them are perfect. They all have their demons. And if you've been watching my channel, you know I hate the perfect characters. I can't stand the perfect characters. I want them to have demons in their closets, and I want them to have to fight through stuff to make sense of things and to use that towards a purpose of making things better or what have you. The characters are very well developed, and I love, the favorite for me of the detectives is probably Reagan Pascali. She's probably my favorite between the two. Alvarez, she seems a little bit more laid back. And then Pascali is a little bit more don't get in my face kind of detective. So I really kind of like her character a little bit better. So the characters are very well developed. There's a lot of characters in this. I don't want to tell you really characters because it might lead to something else, and I don't want to ruin anything. Because there are separate characters in the running mystery that's running alongside the main mystery in this. So, if you like mystery and you don't think you would mind that style of writing, then you should really pick this up because it is fantastic. I'm just telling you. Read that prologue and you'll agree, I'm sure. The imagery is fantastic. The character development is fantastic. The storyline, I just love it because, you know, if you like serial killers, okay, well, you're going to love the serial killer in this. So, pick it up, and then run out and go pick up the rest of them, and then go get the new one that's out today, Deserves to Die, because we should all be reading Lisa Jackson. She is a romantic suspense writer. She does have a romance line, too. I just don't read those. But there is some romance in here, but not over-the-top romance. Yeah, I think you're really would really enjoy this if you are a mystery lover, as I am. So, this is my review of Left to Die. I will also link to my blogs where I have wrote the review. I have also wrote a review on Goodreads, so I will share that. I've got a new blog at blogspot.com. If you guys would go there, I will link bookwormsbuddy.blogspot.com. Click that and go click that follow button on there, and that would make me very happy because I want some followers on there. I actually need 30 followers because I'm trying to get into this other review place, so if you could click the follow button, I'd really appreciate that. But thanks guys for staying tuned. Get the book, read it, you'll love it, Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.